Well, good morning, friends. It's Crazy Cheap Chick. It's another hot, humid day here in Kansas. Let's get these groceries inside. I'll show you what I got. All of my family's coming over for a pool party this weekend, so I spent a little bit more than usual. But I am going to show you how to make 2 delicious salads that will make you the star of any gathering. And I'll catch you up on what's going on here at the farm and tell you a little story at the end. Well, friends, in essence, I spent $139 pre-tax. These are going to show a little bit more than that because I got overcharged $12 on something and I didn't catch it until I got home. Plus, I had to go to 2 grocery stores in order to keep it at $139. I'm starting to feel so stressed out by grocery shopping. But let me go through what I got real quickly. Half and half, we all have this memorized by now because I buy it every week, $5.49. I got these cherry tomatoes. They were $5, but I had a coupon, so they rang up $4.25. And of course, I always try to start with the full price and then go sale and then clearance. I believe the sweet potato was $1.61. This zesty Italian salad dressing was 79 cents. 2 cans of black beans were 89 cents. The cilantro was 89 cents. I got 3 packages of this 90-second rice. It's $1.50. You know life. I don't have time to make rice all the time. It's just really simple to make a meal when you have your 90-second rice, and it's really not that much money. Though, of course, we could save money by making our own. Yellow potatoes were $5. Now, I noticed the russets, they've raised the price. They have been $2.99 for quite some time, and I think they were $3.19 today. And I don't know, that just irritates me. It just really irritates me. I must be in kind of a bad mood today because everything at the store was irritating me. The frozen vegetables were $1.25. I've got sweet corn and 2 packages of broccoli cuts. I'm finding the broccoli cuts in the freezer are cheaper than buying it fresh, and I don't taste a tremendous difference in the taste. You can get these at Aldi's for 97 cents a package, so you could save 75 cents by doing that. Then these blueberries were $3.99 a package. They considered that a sale price. And this whipped topping was $1.19. Though, I don't know, $3.99 is pretty standard anymore, isn't it? These Roma tomatoes were on sale. They were 77 cents. I got my first tomato out of the garden this week, so I'm hoping I will not have to be buying tomatoes much longer. Now we'll go to what was on sale, or what they consider on sale, what I still consider really, really high. Chicken breasts were on sale for $2.99 a pound. I was getting kind of low, so these were $13 and a penny. These buns were $2.99, I believe, but I had a coupon, so they rang up for $1.74. These tortilla wraps that I like were $3.99, which is still outrageous. That's an outrageous price. You can get regular tortillas for like $1.99, $1.79. They're often on sale for $1.49, but I really like these. So when they go on sale, I usually treat myself because you know food is my one weakness. Did any of you ever watch the TV show Candleford or Lark Rise to Candleford? It's on BritBox. I think it was a British show. It's a really good show, really family-oriented. And anyway, one of the characters on there always says, my one weakness is food. Then I got this Alouette soft spreadable cheese. It was $5.49 a package, and it was buy one, get one free. So I make this really good dish with this. I'll try to make a video of it. And it's a chicken dish that you put this in there with noodles, and it's so creamy and good. I got 2 of these refried beans. They were on sale for 99 cents, and I'm finding I really like them in the bag because you can heat them up in the microwave. You don't have to heat them up on top of the stove. Butter was on sale for $2.99. You could get up to 5, and I did. I got 5 of them. Because butter lasts forever, I bought 3 packages of butter the other week, and I think I've already gone through a ton of it. This butter's best by date is November 29th, so I know I'll go through 5 packages of better by the end of November. This was on sale, and so I did stock up on it. I love this stuff. It was $1.99, and you could buy up to 5. One package rang up for $1.24 because I had a loaded coupon, and the other 4 were $1.99. And I'm going to stick these in the freezer. Then this was a great deal. They had these on clearance, these cheese enchiladas with red sauce. And they were marked down to $1.37. I think they had been $4.99, some ridiculous price. And because I apparently had a coupon loaded, or because it was one of those get $1 off if you buy 5 of certain things, all 4 of these rang up for 37 cents. These will make a great meal. Just these and a package of refried beans and a little of this 90-second rice. And so $1.50, $2.50, for $3.50 I can feed 2 of us. That's pretty good. Then they also had these Marie Calendar Duos marked down to $1.32. That's really cheap. And so I got 4 of them. For those nights I just can't force myself to cook, I can get out these. Or sometimes John Wayne has meetings in the evening. These make a great meal for me, and I can feed myself for $1.32. I did get this roast. It was marked down from $18.22 to $11.65. And here's some other clearance stuff. This butter leaf lettuce was $1.24, and this baby iceberg lettuce was $1.22. And here's the bad news, guys, and this about sent me over the edge. These red net bags, which had been 99 cents, are now ringing up for $1.50. Oh, that just irritated me so much. I don't know why it did, but it did. Maybe because I didn't see a sign talking about the increase, and so it caught me by surprise, or just because I think that's a lot of money. Then I also got 3 red peppers for $1.50. And this little tiny bag of potatoes for $1.50. Now, I do love these little potatoes, but I wouldn't have paid $1.50 for them. Then this Hawaiian bread was marked down to $1.44, but I did have a loaded coupon, so it rang up for 44 cents. 3 cucumbers for $1.50. This was a pretty good deal. These applesauce packets, I think they had been like $7.99 or $8.99, some ridiculous amount. And they were marked down to $2.32. Now, I am not going to suck applesauce out of a tube, but I do have some grandkids that will. Then I did get this. This big box has 18 in it of unsweetened applesauce. Was $2.50. Its best by date is not for another year, June 3rd, 2026. And if you like it a little sweeter, add a little sugar. This angel food cake was $2.84, but I had a loaded coupon, so it rang up for $1.84. Now, I read this week that if you eat a cup of berries a day, it will help your inflammation as much as prescription medication. But of course, berries are pretty expensive, but I am going to try adding more berries into our diet. And so I did get 2 packages of blueberries. In order to get John Wayne to eat those berries, I'm probably going to have to combine them with just a little bit of Cool Whip and angel food cake and call it dessert. And then this 2% milk was reduced to $1.42. Its best by date July 15th. These eggs were marked down from $6.79. Can you believe that? $6.79 for eggs to $2.17. And the salsa was $2.02. And I don't know what happened. Sometimes, you tell me if this ever happens to you. You're just walking along, minding your own business, and things just jump in your cart. And that's what happened to me this week. I was just minding my own business, and these jumbo cinnamon rolls jumped in my cart. And I thought about putting them back on the shelf, but I just figured if they wanted to go home with me that bad, I just would bring them on home. I'm softy that way. And Not only soft, but probably a little overweight. But these, I had a whole bunch of these, so just be glad I only came home with 2 of them. Now, what are we going to eat this week? Well, we're probably going to have fajitas because I got these and this chicken and these peppers. I know we're going to have a roast and some mashed potatoes. My kids are all coming over this weekend for a swim party, and I'm supposed to make a side. I think I'm going to make a corn and black bean salad, and everyone else is bringing sides, and my son's smoking a pork butt. I got all that hamburger last week, and so I know we'll probably have hamburgers, and I'll probably make some French fries to go with it. I might make my Mediterranean plate, which is usually just a little roasted chicken and rice, usually some beans, a little naan, and some cut up cucumbers, and usually I throw on some cherry tomatoes and an avocado, because somewhere in here I did buy an avocado, because the reason I remember is it was so exceedingly expensive. $1.77 for an avocado. Oh my goodness. Now here's the thing that cost me and the $12. This little flour. This flour was marked down to $3. But it had originally been $14.99, and it rang up for $14.99. And I didn't catch it. And the reason it did that is they didn't cover the barcode. And so it caught this barcode instead of this barcode. So I'm going to have to either dispute it online or run back up to the store and get my $12 discount. But that's so frustrating. I spent $23.05 at Goodwill today. That's about par for the course. Now, the first thing I got was this Spider-Man toy. My youngest grandson loves Spider-Man, and so I couldn't resist getting it. It was $1.70. I got these fancy shoes for $5.06, and they're fancy, but they're not super comfortable. But I do have a fancy event to go to in August, and I think I can hobble to that event and hobble home in them. These shoes were a little bit more expensive. They were $8.20. Now, they are really super comfortable, but how do they determine what prices they're going to put on shoes? They're all different prices. Crazy. Then this dress was $4.47. And what's funny about this dress, remember, I went to Goodwill, found a dress, didn't buy it, decided I should have bought it, went back and couldn't find it. It was this dress. So 3rd time's the charm. And then I got this. And this is brand new, never opened. It was $3.62. As you can see, no one's even bothered to get it out of the package. It's probably a gift. And it's a Calming Heat Deluxe back wrap. I got that for John Wayne. Well, that's what I got for my $23.
Concrete corn day. Shower pad. Got my supervisor here. He's doing the easy work, loading the hopper. I have to run this rake. We're getting her done. A little bit left to go.
John Wayne and my grandson got the concrete poured for the shower. And they have signed it. I have not gone plant clearance shopping in several weeks, so I stopped by Lowe's today, found a few things. This was $50 worth of plants. That's really high, isn't it? Plants have gotten so high. But I got this guy right here. Everything was half off. So this is a delphinium. He's got a lot of buds on him. 2 daylilies. These had been $17.98. A canna, which I have tons of, but I don't have an orange one. A snowball bush. Everybody had these when I was growing up. Every house. And a pasta. Now it doesn't look too great, but it'll come back just fine. Anyway, that's 50 bucks worth of plants. That's high. I'm really making two salads. I'm making a pasta salad. I've already boiled and drained the rainbow twirls. I'm also making a black bean and corn salad. And so this is 1 can of black beans, well drained and rinsed. And I've chopped up some onion, red pepper, and green pepper. It's super simple because all I did is add a bag of super sweet corn and those onions and peppers, and I'm going to stir this up. In addition to the pasta and the chopped up onion and peppers, I'm also going to add some olives. I love cilantro, but every now and then you buy a bunch that's super bitter, and this is super bitter, so I'm not using it. I'm just going to use some cilantro I saved out of my garden last year, actually. So we've added the tomatoes to this salad, we've added the cilantro, I've added the olives and tomatoes to this pasta salad. Pasta salad, I'm just going to use this Caesar dressing. It won't take a lot either. Put that much in, let's stir it up and see how it looks. You're done there, or you could add a little seasoning. I'm going to add just a little oregano. I put Italian herb because these were herbs out of my garden last summer. Put those in there. And I'm probably going to put a little bit of pepper, a little bit of salt, and just a touch more dressing and stir it up. That's what it looks like. Turned out really good. I'm gonna give it a taste. So good. It's really very similar to that Suddenly salad you buy, only it's cheaper and it's easy and it tastes better because everything's fresh, not dehydrated. You could also make it with salad dressing or just put oil and vinegar on it. Make it your own. I've got that cilantro in there, the cilantro that came out of my garden from last year. Now, trust me, if you like cilantro, it's way better with fresh cilantro, but it'll be fine. And I'm going to put some salt in. I'm going to do a little pepper. And I'm going to do cumin. Now, I buy a lot of my spices in bulk. That saves me a ton of money. And I use a lot of cumin. So the stuff I use a lot of, I buy in bulk. And this is just a jar that some salsa I really like comes in. I just resave the jars and use them for my bulk spices I buy. Added the cumin. I don't measure stuff, but just remember it's easier to add more. You can't hardly take it out. And your dressing is just going to be some honey. This is honey I get from my neighbor. And limes. All I had was these 2 little sad limes, but it should be plenty of lime juice, so we're going to squeeze those in there. Have our limes and our honey in there. Let's stir it up and give it a taste. This is the best salad. I always get raves on this salad every time I make it. And this is really good. Now, the thing I do at the very end, I'll swallow, is you can cut up a couple of avocados in here, and it makes it even better. But just like this is good, but that honey and lime, it's just such a great dressing. And the salads are made. I'm going to put them in the refrigerator until it's time to take them outside. These are really starting to come out, and there's just no way to corral them. All right, we're going to go inside the tunnel. Really crowding out my tomatoes. Might not have been the best place for the tomato. Oh my goodness. We should have been out here picking earlier. Look at that one hanging in there. Let's get this one. If I can pick him. I'm not sure what kind of melon that is. Okay, here, you hold this one, would you? They're really growing though. I think we're going to have a knife or something to cut these. I am not 100% positive. I think it's obviously some kind of squash. I think it's a banana melon, but I'm not positive. We've got a lot of them though. And an acorn squash. Gracie, you're so stylish.
Summer outfit.
So super cute. Well, friends, thanks for sticking around all the way to the end. I appreciate it, as always. And I'm going up to my dad's this week, so be watching for the second installment of us renovating his old farmhouse. It should be interesting. Now, I think I've got everything ready for today's pool party. All of my family's coming over. It's 96 right now. It is super hot and humid. Perfect day for a swim party. And I am really looking forward to spending the day with my family and a few close friends. Now, this kind of got me thinking. You know how I always tell a little story here at the end, whether you want to hear it or not. And this happened many years ago. In fact, I think I've told this story before, but most of you probably haven't heard it. And the rest of you, if you're like me, you would have forgotten it if you heard it more than 2 weeks ago. So I'm going to tell you this story. This happened really when the internet had just kind of started. It was brand new and people had blogs. You remember blogs? People kind of writing stuff on blogs. I went to look something up on the internet, which is brand new. And the only thing I could find was a lady had referred to it on her blog. And that's how I found her. I wasn't looking for her. I was looking for information. I think it was on a certain town. And she had a lot of information. It was really interesting. And I started reading her blog. And I got kind of invested in it. She was fascinating. She had just retired. Her husband had left her. She sold her house, bought an RV, and hit the road. And I think probably 15, 20 years ago, that was really unusual. There's a lot of people living the van life today, but back then, someone in their 60s living in an RV full time and moving every few days and writing about it was just pretty fascinating to me. And so I started reading her blog. I don't remember her name now, but it was one of those old-timey names that you never hear anymore, like Clara. And so every night I would pull up Clara's blog and read what she'd done that day. And some days it would be something really fascinating. She'd go to see something or visit some new place, and it was really interesting. But she had down days too. And, you know, some of her blogs were, I got 3 loads of laundry done, I made some potato salad. Not all of them were super interesting, but I got to feel like I really knew Clara. But yet I never commented on her blog. I didn't actually know her. I felt connected to her though. And it kind of made me think of myself and making these videos. Some of you out there probably never comment on my videos, but maybe you watch them. And so you kind of know me, but you're a ghost to me. I don't know you. I got so invested in Clara's blog that I would find myself at work thinking things like, I wonder if Clara got that spot out of her good blouse. I wonder if she used peroxide on that, or maybe a little borax. You know, if you scrub that really good, that would, you know, I would find myself thinking about Clara, who I had never met and who did not know I existed. So, if you watch my videos, make sure you leave a comment so we can get to know each other. And that makes it more fun for both of us. And don't miss out on any of the fun. Make sure you subscribe, share, comment, and all of those help me out as a small YouTuber. And as always, I appreciate all of you. I hope you have a great weekend. We're still working on this area, but we're getting there. Hopefully the rain stays away today. It looks like lightning until it bursts. I'd say the economy is doing just fine. So every year, my neighbor puts on this huge fireworks display. They're probably a quarter mile away. I can't imagine what But another neighbor told me, yeah, I have to sleep in the barn with my horses because it scares them so bad. And my poor dog has been shivering. I've had to give her sedatives all day. She just can't handle the fireworks.